Hi, I'm Deco, and I'm trying to learn Pygame. I've tried to mess around with before a while back, but the issue is I didn't understand Pygame yet, and I immediately tried to make a dream game. So I'd learn new things, realize how bad my old code was, and go on this loop of remaking the game over and over, and it just didn't work. So I'm doing something different. I'm gonna make a bunch of small games and to learn how to build those skills up so that eventually I can make my dream game. My goal is I'm gonna try to make one game every 3 weeks and a devlog every week. So basically 3 devlogs for each game. So here's my idea for this week's game. There's this little triangle guy, and he's really fast. Your objective is to escape these little stupid square guys, but their base speed is faster than your base speed. So you gotta go through these circles that speed you up if you go through them. And if you're fast enough, you can even kill some of those square guys for points. But that makes you lose speed. So you gotta play risky and kill the dumb guys, or run away and just get points by surviving. Yeah, it's a basic idea, but I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible for my first actual game. I started off opening Pygame and setting up a basic screen display. Then I spent way longer than I'd like to admit getting a green square to appear on screen. Then I added this very simple speed control that just works with X and Y speed variables that just adds the respective speeds to your X and Y position each frame. After adding a very simple friction, I thought everything was fine, but I realized it felt wrong. I noticed that the X and Y variables felt very separated. As you can see, unless I'm moving at a perfect 45-degree angle, you seem to move just fine and then it snaps to the XY axis. I realized this is because one of the variables were reaching 0 before the other, so one axis would continue moving while the other one was already at 0. I realized that instead of pushing the variables to 0 with the subtractions, I multiplied the velocity by the number less than 1, and everything slowed down evenly, and that fixed it. I had to fix the speed rising infinitely if you just kept moving forward, so I used the opportunity to learn how to use functions, and made a very simple clamp function that just caps the speed to a maximum and minimum. The way it works is if the number you feed in is more than the max, it sets it to the max, and if it's less than the minimum, it sets it to the minimum. After tweaking numbers, I felt the physics were right and started to make the movement directional. For that, I needed a triangle sprite to spin around. And I didn't think to download a red triangle sprite. No, that would be too smart. Instead, I spent 8 minutes downloading an off-brand Photoshop software to make a triangle. I imported the sprite and blitted it onto the player's position, and used transformation to rotate it as I pressed A and D. As a quick note, I know when it rotates it isn't centered, but don't worry, I'll fix that later. And when I saw it worked, I made the movement dependent on the rotation. The way I did this is by feeding the radian of the angle into the cosine and sine of x and y respectively. I was moving around when I realized if you press forward, stop, and then press turn, you keep turning, but you don't move with the turn. So I recoded it so that it changes your direction even if you don't press forward. I still don't know which I like more. I'll leave it up to you guys because I'm out of time this week. Next week, I hope to get the camera working and the enemy's AI working. But thanks for watching. I hope to see you then. Bye!